Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. We have Damian Lillard, the reigning Rookie of the Year, with us to talk about fundamentals. What do you think the most important fundamental for you specifically has been to master to do well in the NBA?
I think it's just being sharp. That's probably not considered a fundamental, but crisp passes, tight handle, thinking the game, just being sharp in every area. I think I've been able to understand that part of the game. And that's what allowed me to be successful right away in the league.
Do you still get back and do drills in the gym by yourself, 6 a.m., that kind of thing?
I always get back to my roots. When you have a certain way that you go about doing things, you see how far it's gotten you. For example, me, how I worked and how it got me here. You always get back to it, so I always find myself doing the same tough workouts. Early morning or late at night, regardless, as long as I'm putting in the type of work that got me to this point, that's good with me.
How well prepared were you from college going into the NBA in the pick and roll game? Do you feel like the college really taught you what you needed to know?
Yeah, it really prepared me for it. In college, it was like my first couple years we ran pick and roll, but it wasn't our main focus. And then my coaches started to see that I was effective in it. I think it was kind of natural, like reading and reacting to stuff and scoring. So one of our assistants started to really work with me in pick and roll. So it was like every little thing we broke down, and we focused on coming off right into a pull-up, pull back into a pull-up, splitting into a pass, sprint out to a three. So it was like everything that I worked on, I started to put it into the game in college, so when I got to the league, it was natural for me.
Do you sense that you're special when you do those kind of things, as if other point guards aren't doing that kind of specific work that you were doing?
I think that's what gives me an edge. Some guys might not need it, or they might not feel like they need it, but it's a lot of small things that I feel like are necessary for me to be at my best, whereas somebody else might feel like it's stupid or is not worth their time. I mean, I do a lot of drills where if somebody watched, they probably say, why is he doing that? But I understand what it does for me, so working on those drills really help.
Now, playing in a smaller school, how serious is that ball being played there? I mean, is it the same kind of level you see in those bigger schools?
I don't think it's the same level. I think high major guys, you'll see a 6'6" two guard, whereas my level, you'll see a 6'3" two guard. And one dunk on the season. And these guys, explosive athletes, a lot of them end up in the NBA. But, when you're at a lower level, I think that's when it's important to be able to think the game and develop yourself so when it comes time, you can compete on the same floor as these guys.
Tell us one specific fundamental or skill that we're working on right now in the offseason to improve on for this year.
The main thing I'm working on right now is pick and roll stuff and changing my pace when I get into the paint, so I don't always have to challenge the bigs at the rim. So it's just coming off pick and roll, keeping my guy on my back, and being able to shoot a floater, like just catch him off guard, changing my pace and shoot a floater. Different finishes, high off the glass, just stuff like that, so I'm not always taking a beating.
Well, that sounds terrific. Thank you so much, Damian, for joining us. And don't forget, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in? Are you in?
I'm in.